With 2K25 wrapping up within the next few weeks, I wanted to go over not only the positives of this game, but also the negatives of this game. Starting with the good in NBA 2K25, so you have the fact that you have to green every shot. I don't love high risk being the only one that does that, but I like the fact that if you're on high risk, you have to be able to green every shot to make it. And I just feel like that should always be in 2K. You should always have to green all your shots, and that's just the way it needs to be from now on. Another positive in 2K25 is all the different game modes there are. You have Proving Grounds, which is, what we all want, matchmaking, 1s, 2s, 3s. There's even 5s in Proving Grounds, which, that's just another variation of rec that you can play on. And then, you have Park, your standard 2s and 3s, Stage, and then, Theater, which gives you a nice change up every week. On every Friday, you can get, steals or +1 or double dunks. And I think it's really nice how many game modes you can play, even though it's still just, 2s or 3s in basketball. I really enjoy the fact that 2K's added all these different games that you can just, it just changes it up. Because playing 3s nonstop or playing 2s nonstop can get old. And just throwing something in there that forces you to play a different way or play in a different build, I just think that's pretty cool, and it's one of the best parts of 2K25 in all honesty. Another thing I think 2K did really well is the seasons. I'm not a big fan of seasons in general, in any game really, but I really think 2K did a good job this year with it. The rewards are pretty good. Even the free ones are really good. And I like the fact that it contributes to your my player and my team, because there's times that there might be a couple week stretch where I want to play a bunch of my team, or a couple week stretch where I'm playing a ton of Park, and I don't I wouldn't like the fact that if you were only playing the one, you were kind of being screwed out of the other. You wouldn't be getting any of the rewards, even though you're still playing the game. You're still technically getting rep in that sense. So I just find it cool that you're getting both, because now you're not falling behind because you didn't play my team this week or this month. You're able to get, the invincible Paul George or the GOAT Julius Erving, or even the Tim Duncan or the David Robinson. Those rewards were pretty good. And then, obviously, I'll get to the negatives, which Cat Breakers is in there. But, you get a Cat Breaker at the end of every season. I don't love Cat Breakers, but, that's a great reward. It's allowing you to, get your player extra badges or whatever without having to, spend hours upon hours, days upon days trying to rep up. So I think 2K did a really good job with the season rewards this year. Now that is all I have as goods from 2K25. I think this is a pretty bad game, to be honest with you. I'll give 2K credit where they can get it, but there's just not much to really, give them a pat on the back for. Starting with the bad, the dribbling is horrendous. There is a couple moves you can do, and you can't even dribble on big guards, really. I know some people are really good at it, but it is way more difficult this year than any years past to dribble on a bigger guard or even a wing. 2K does not want you to be able to play well on a big guard. They don't want you to, because I get it, it's been OP in the past, but instead of, fixing it, they just completely nuked it and gave it absolutely zero value, which I don't see how that's good in the first place. So then now there's just 4 moves you can really do with dribbling. Even on a small point guard, you have the Steve Francis, you have the behind the back. You have the L2 slide, Ferrari slide, and the step back. Obviously you have your crossover speed boost, but there's not much. There's just not a ton to do in this game in terms of dribbling. It's very repetitive. Everybody's dribbling the exact same way. It's just not really good. There's not a ton in here that is viable, even though there's a ton of set animations. It's just there's not a ton of moves that are viable, which I find incredibly annoying. My next issue with 2K25 is the RNG. I mean, yes, firstly, I mean, it's the shooting, obviously. When we talk about RNG, we're talking about the fact that your green window is changing, and you might not even be able to hit your fourth shot in a row. You can't green every time. I mean, there's games you can, but you cannot green every shot every single game. It just, the game doesn't allow it, and I don't like that. If I know my jumper, I feel like I should be able to hit every shot. I'm not playing real life basketball, I'm playing a video game. If I'm good at the video game, I'd like to be rewarded for it, and I don't want to be cheated out because of RNG. And especially since the RNG was added to stop like people using Zens and people who are cheating, but instead it just puts me at a disadvantage because now they figured out how to do it anyway. So now they can green every shot, yet I can't. And another thing about the RNG is how much loose balls are just, whether it's rebounds or off tip passes. I mean, there's games that it feels like you don't get anything, like literally nothing. Every single loose ball just manages to, teleport into the other team's hands, or, they manage to get the steal and it leads to a wide open dunk, even though you were right in front of the ball, or you had inside positioning on a rebound and you jumped perfect timing. Yet it doesn't matter sometimes, and it feels like it's just guessing who gets the ball in those situations. And that is something that just really bothers me this year. And this next negative I have for this game kind of plays into the RNG, but it's the defense in this game. It feels so animation based. I mean, there's games that it feels like you're just getting cheated by 2K. Like they're just getting blow-bys every time. Or like I said earlier, like, every steal's going their way. They're catching crazy, NFL interceptions, and you get a ball thrown at your chest and it just bounces right off you. That just feels like, one, RNG, but two, it's just bad defense. I mean, paint defense is atrocious. The contest system is awful. I don't know. It feels like there's way too many animations in this game, and you're not being rewarded for actually playing good defense. You're just being, like, it doesn't feel smooth, and it's just not coded in this game well. And I think they really need to do something to rework defense next year, because if it's the same as this year, it's going to be hell. Another negative that I know all of us can agree on is the cost of builds. It is incredibly frustrating to make a build, especially day one, because who doesn't want to play the game when it's brand new? We all do. We all want to play the brand new game. It's the way it is. Yet you make that build day one, and even if it's a good build, it's not going to be perfect because you don't know how the build system works yet. And yet you have to spend $50 to get that build maxed. And then once, the meta is figured out a month or two, ahead, next thing you know, it's another $50 that you have to spend to get the build that can compete with the other meta builds in this game. It shouldn't cost that much. And that kind of leads into my next point, which makes the build editor even more frustrating. Cap breakers. I mean, when I made my first build, I didn't know how cap breakers worked. It was not maximized to a T with cap breakers. And that's something that I hate. Like, you need to make your builds in terms of maximizing the attributes with the cap breakers, and yet you won't even have the cap breakers for 2 months, 4 months even. So it's hard because, like, you get that first set of cap breakers. I mean, you can go make a build that is maximized with 5 cap breakers or 6 or 7 cap breakers, depending on how many seasons you've hit level 40. But once you hit, whatever the next set of cap breakers rep is, now all of a sudden you're stuck. And now you can either just kind of hope that your build can get something out of those cap breakers, or you're forced to make another build and spend another $50 that's maximized for that set of 10 or 12 cap breakers. It's incredibly frustrating how much builds cost, and that you can't even, like, change them a little bit. Like, if I messed up, like, I didn't know for my first build that cap breakers only went up to 5. You can only get, put 5 in. So the first build I made when it came to thinking about cat breakers, I assumed I could just put a bunch into the 3-pointer and leave it lower. That didn't work. I mean, the build's still good and it's still usable and playable and I can have a good time on it, but in no way is it maximized or perfected in terms of, playing in a competitive standpoint. And it's just incredibly frustrating that your build can get ruined by the meta, or new animations coming out that you can't get now because you didn't even know they were going to come out until, season 6. But now you're stuck and your build isn't viable anymore, or it's just not competitive enough, and now you have to spend another $50 on a build. Lastly, I want to talk about is the pack odds. I mean, not only are these packs costing an absurd amount of money, and I know you don't have to buy packs. I haven't bought packs this year. But I know a lot of people who do. And those odds are atrocious. I mean, you're gambling on a, 1 in 1,000 chance of pulling something. And then they're stacked odds as well. Like, you may have a 2% chance, let's say, of pulling, a GOAT card. But you don't have even odds of pulling each GOAT card. Like, you have a 2% chance of pulling them, but let's say 50% of the time you pull the bad one, or 60% of the time you pull one of the 2 bad ones. I just don't think that's right at all. It just really frustrates me. The pack odds are lying to you, and they're just not good at all.